thank you so much for the time today. Really enjoyed your performances on screen. There seemed like there was a great chemistry between you guys. Can you talk a bit about what you found on the page and how much you developed while the film was going?
Well, there was a lot of great stuff on the page. There was a lot of great wardrobe design to inform us who these people were. Obviously, Guillermo does everything with a lot of attention to detail, and our performances were part of something that he cared about the detail of. And then we had fun.
Yeah, I think he's confident enough and open enough and secure in his talent, his amazing talent, to let us kind of play a little bit. There wasn't a sense that it was sort of like you've got to say these words, etc., etc. There was a fluidity, particularly to our characters. I think you don't want to change something that Travis Beacham and Guillermo del Toro have written, but there was a feeling of collaboration, which is always fantastic, And
it seems like they got the right people for the right parts all over. And when you've got something like, you've got very stylized action here, but you, as well, like the fulcrum of the stylized comedy here, I think like the whole film was quite stylized. Did you sort of feel like that it was kind of an easy thing to fall into that style of comedy?
We yeah, because it's based on interesting characters. If there were a bunch of robot and kaiju jokes in there, it would have been a little hard to wrap your head around. But the comedy was coming out of the fact that these two people were butted heads and didn't like each other and had very sort of different opinions about their approach to science and life. And look, that's the same whether you're in a big action movie or a little romantic comedy. If it's coming out of something interesting about who the people are, then that's an easy thing, I think, to understand and relate to.
Would you agree that you are both heroes in your own story here?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Why do we even have to tell people that? I think, gosh, there should be more of us in the film. I think, no, it's great. Look, I love that about this movie, not from a selfish actor perspective, but from, I guess, a dorky guy perspective. Even though I'm crazy cool, but that the brains also are the heroes in this movie, and it's not just the brawn. Look, there's great fighting, and it's exciting, and the action's cool, but it's nice to celebrate our smartest minds. I'm not one of them, but I pretend to be one of them, and I think it's good.
I like the feeling that also that it's set in the near distant future. But that, this is a situation we're under duress, and these guys are desperately trying to come up with something. It led to a sense of urgency about everything. So you sort of were able to kind of, I knew that the playing level, for example, it wasn't going to be entirely subtle, as it were. It's a vast, awesome sized film, and
you have to match the energy and the size of giant robots and giant kaiju, and you can't really be in a David Mamet play in the middle of it. You have to.
It was great.
You have to care that the world's ending.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you say that because the world is ending, and yet you're still fighting about who's right.
Look, I mean, one of us has to be right at the end of the day. And I think there's something very human about that. Even if the world was ending, people would be bickering about something. There could be a giant monster breaking through a city wall, and someone's still going to be complaining about their lower intestine.
That's great. Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers.
All right. Yeah.